From Creamer Media in Johannesburg, this is the Real Economy Report. The Passenger Rail Agency of South Africa has launched a supplier survey to determine the capacity of local industry to meet the 65% localization target qualifying bidders will have to adhere to in the agency's 136 billion rand program to acquire new rolling stock. Irma Venter reports.
PRASA hopes to reinvent itself with its multi-billion rand rolling stock acquisition, broadening its customer scope to include more than the lower income market from which it currently draws the majority of its passengers. PRASA Enterprise Program Management Office Head Piet Sabola explains.
One of the key things that we're thinking about long and hard is to make sure that indeed by 2015 latest, on specific corridors which I'll reflect on just shortly, is that the travel time ought to reduce quite significantly. I mean, we take Pretoria, Johannesburg to about 2 hours today. We're saying all the trips between these two cities, Johannesburg and Pretoria, come 2015, all of them ought to be under an hour. That's our commitment around making sure that indeed the service offering is an offering that everybody is going to be proud of. One of the big approaches that we've actually taken into account, as you know, traditionally Metro Rail has been just the lower segment of the market. Now we want to tap into the different segment of the market as well, that everybody can actually use that particular mode of transportation and it becomes a modal choice. So that's actually the plan around that. Of course, we know that we're not going to solve every single problem by 2015. So what we then did was to identify corridors that we know we are moving masses and masses of our commuters, customers on daily basis, and these corridors are the ones that are going to receive a major makeover.
Sabola says the new trains will have to be 12-car units featuring onboard Wi-Fi access and closed-circuit television cameras to ensure commuter safety. All trains also require onboard electronic information signs, easy access for people with disabilities, and must be able to reach speeds of up to 120 km an hour, if not 160 km an hour.
Other news making headlines this week: Big Business unveils its Beyond Advocacy plan for South Africa. Coal miner Exxaro will submit 5 renewable energy bids, and Transnet's new procurement policy will demand transformation spin-offs from its 300 billion rand investments. The new head of Business Leadership South Africa has laid out his Beyond Advocacy vision for the organisation and its future engagements with government and other social partners, including organised labour.
We really need to be doing more to lift businesses' presence and face in society, and this is best done by doing things and showing the value of business to society. And the areas we felt we wanted to concentrate on in that regard were education, unemployment, in particular youth unemployment, and corruption.
South Africa's second largest coal miner, Exxaro Resources, is moving ahead with plans to generate clean energy.
We think that this is going to be one competitive advantage going forward for every country that is in the renewable space. But we as a coal producer see ourselves that at some point we need to balance our carbon footprint. We produce coal. What is it that we're doing on the other side to ensure that we balance that? And really that's what drove us in getting into this business, because it is important to us that we provide clean energy into the system or into the grid. But over and above that, it's critical for us to note that we get into these things not because it's some social responsibility kind of thing, but you can make money out of this one because these are good businesses. I mean, if you look at the tariffs that have been published by the department, they show clearly that you will make money.
The board at state-owned company Transnet will complete a wide-ranging review of the group's procurement policies by the end of March, and the new policy, which will have a strong transformation underpinning, will have implications for the procurement approach pursued during the implementation of the group's 300 billion rand 7-year investment program.
There is a review of the Transnet procurement process. It's still at subcommittee level. It has not even gone to the board yet, and because of that, we can't comment much about it, but our deadline ideally is end of March, so that at a particular point in time within the organization, we can then begin to talk a little bit loudly about it in terms of where it's going. We will still abide by the PFMA, and just at a high level, we got some exemption in terms of the PPPFA recently, but it's only for 12 months. We are working on it, and it will be a public document by the time we finish it, because it will be on the internet.
That's Creamer Media's Real Economy Report. Join us again next week for more news and insights into South Africa's real economy.